Hey, what's up, YouTube? And I'm back with another video I'm talking about today. Okay, the video I'm talking about is how Tupac and Biggie's death affected hip hop. Okay, talk about this video is gonna be on how Tupac and Biggie's death affected hip hop. Okay, I think Tupac and Biggie's death affected hip hop in a worse way, in a bad way. Means that their deaths basically became unsolved. I said for many years, Tupac and Biggie was two greatest hip hop artists, for back in the 90s, rappers who basically blew up. So I think Tupac death, and Biggie's death affected the whole entire hip hop in general. Because like when you basically look at the deaths, the deaths was more basically killing, on how they was killed in some places. Tupac was killed in Vegas, and Biggie died in California. Yeah, I was about when Biggie died, I was 6 years old, and Tupac died. Yeah, and Tupac died while I was 5 years old. Both of them had died a year apart. But I think that death is basically affecting, basically hip hop and how hip hop has evolved over that, And like Tupac's life was more I say more different than Biggie's life, Tupac's life was more how blacks should empower each other, and how we should, always do the right thing, And Biggie's life was more about, basically, hood life, on how things were. I said more about hood life, reality, but Tupac and Biggie's death were more causing people to be much aware and be much aware about what's going on, I think the death is more I don't know. I think Tupac Devil kind of like took everybody, took everybody by surprise. Myself, I didn't like know how. Hold on. At first, I was a kid. I didn't know that Tupac was killed though, or Big had died. I kind of like, didn't know that Tupac had died. When I was 5 years old. I said back in around '96. I was 5. I was a little kid. Things I don't. Things I don't really basically know about on how they were killed, But Tupac's death had affected many people on how rappers basically get killed basically anywhere because of beef, because over this thing going on back then, which was called the East Coast versus the West Coast feud, but like Tupac's death was more I say more about on how Tupac's death became to a final conclusion on how us as black folks, especially as black men in general, it's getting cut by it's gonna get shot and killed by another black man, how our life can be cut short over that. But I think that I think like rappers who are basically say living a life, they lead, they are living a life that can really cause them to go to jail or being dead, But like some rappers out here, some of them are rapping or what they don't love by, And I think what happened to Tupac though. Tupac had died because he was rapping, something that he wasn't a part of, But Tupac was killed by a Crip member, a gang member, But how gangs can be basically separated versus the gangs in California, or how gangs don't basically get along. So yeah, I think his death was more about how he got caught up in the gang culture, how Tupac was killed, but like or something else, that right, that I've been know about, how Tupac was going to leave death row, on how he's, how Tupac was going to leave that row, or some, they could be on how it's different, but Tupac's death was more a shock to people, back in the 90s versus now, Yeah, I said from back around 96 to 2019, yeah, I think it's back around 20-something years ago. The Tupac, was a good rapper, I said Tupac was a well-known rapper though. And how he, became a good influence on the whole hip-hop in general, Especially like he grew up in the 90s, especially like he born in the 90s, like me though. I born in 91, so yeah, I had yeah, I kind of like didn't hold on, I kind of didn't listen to Tupac until I was a teenager. I said back around I think junior high school, or either I don't know high school or either elementary, but I think Tupac life was more about how his life became to a abrupt end because he got caught up into the gang culture or the gang element that that with him and Suge Knight was evolving. The Suge Knight was a Suge Knight was Tupac's buddy. Suge Knight was a big dude. But yeah, Suge Knight was part of the Bloods, I think. I don't know, but Tupac was a good rapper. He was more a country rapper though. A country rapper. His lyrics was more about reality, or how people were living in this type of poverty condition. But yeah, I think Tupac's life was more about on how us should able to come together, on how on how to squash all that's still going on in the world. But the biggest death was more about how Big was killed in LA, which was which was part of Tupac's hometown. Yeah, I say hometown they lived at before he died. Biggie had good amount of influence on people's lives too. Though Biggie, Biggie was from New York though. He got biggest influence out there. But Tupac's biggest death were more unsolved because of nobody. I knew. Yeah, first I watched a couple of documentaries of Tupac's and Biggie's death on TV. Yeah, I know yeah, I know who shot Tupac though. Yeah, Tupac's killer was Atlanta Answer though. He was a I say that he was a Crip gang member or something. Yeah, he shot and killed Tupac. Yeah, he was yeah. Yeah, I think that was about on how they basically figure out who killed Tupac back in the day, Yeah, Tupac that was more affected hip hop than ever, because we, basically look at the deaths, The death was basically over retaliation or over jealousy, over beefing, over them trying to be tougher. I don't know, but I think the death was more about on how the East Coast versus West Coast started to spiral out of control, back then. So, but Tupac and biggest death was more a feud with, yeah. I think it started over. Let me see. I think it started over when Tupac was killed in '94. He was killed in hold on. I said wrong. Tupac was shot though. Yeah, Tupac was shot in New York though back in '94 when he trying to meet Biggie or something. Somehow they set him up to to get shot. But yeah, yeah, I think Tupac was mad over Biggie's disloyal to him. Means that Tupac thought that Biggie would protect him or what, somehow Tupac was mad, angry over over that ordeal, but yeah, I think that whole friendship started to crumble down, to crumble down to to their own depths, cause death might be, over there right there, over the East Coast, over the East Coast versus West Coast rivalry, which leads to them being murdered. But yeah, I think the whole hip hop community as a whole basically kind of like know Tupac's and Biggie's legacy though on how they build legacy on how rappers should take heed to their own life, cause life could be like here and this time be gone, folks might never know if they could be here or not though, but Tupac's biggest death came a different type of thing to where the deaths were more reality on how us basically should wake up though on how we should be able to value life. Yeah, I said value life and not take a life at all, but yeah, I think about how we should able to learn on how to value ourselves though as black people though, and not causing like carnage, on ourselves or causing genocide violence towards other people. So yeah, I think that Tupac and Biggie's death became a reality for some people who living in the hood, on how rappers basically glorify up, doing drugs or kill somebody, means that, like they are basically, glorifying this stuff to kids, who basically grew up in this poverty condition. But yeah. Yeah, then my whole take on Tupac's Biggie's death on how it affected hip hop. So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, either subscribe or or just say hold on. Make sure you agree with the video or basically agree. So God bless, amen, peace.